Friga is back. Oh my God, Brody, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Dude, great. I'm feeling so good right now. How you feeling?
Man, bro, I'm a lot better than what I was before. I would say that. But my bro, I want to ask you this question. And what made you come up with the idea of the sneaking NBA players?
Actually, you know what's crazy? It wasn't NBA players at first. I can't remember. I can't remember which one was first, but I think I did a video with Scar's college team, and I was helping Scar make all
I
those
remember that.
videos in school. Um, one of the first weekends that we were there helping to move in and all that stuff. We were like, man, let's do a park run, and it's like in the middle of Tennessee, in the middle of nowhere, and we're like, nobody's gonna pull up. We had a crazy crowd, and we brought the college team, and I couldn't think of a good title and thumbnail, and so it kind of came up afterwards, and it was like, let's just do some concept of sneaking this college team in. So we did sneaking a real college team into a park run, and I think it's at like 1.1 million views right now, and it did well over the course of time. And I think we did another one, I can't remember. And then the professor one did super well. That one's at like 3 million now. And the Dwight Howard one, like just
Yeah,
I
you
don't
did it, Dwight.
I don't I don't really know. I think the idea with the professor one was I had the idea of like bringing him to the park and like wanting to like do it secretly, but Air Deezy was over there and he was helping me come up with like conceptualizing the idea. So shout out to Deezy and Fest for sure. Obviously we did the concept before, but they definitely helped like bring it to life when we were out there in Paris. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Then it just makes sense to have the NBA guys because it's like even Dwight said it in the video. He's like, "Man, I haven't hooped outside in 20 years," and that's kind of the idea. It's like we're so used to seeing these people in such an organized setting, and like Rio was like, "I haven't hooped outside in a very long time," and so doing something that's never been done is always like it's always like one people always want to see it.
yeah,
It's like always trying to come up with what's a really good title, what's a really good thumbnail, what has a storyline, and what can you like get people to see that they're like, nah, this isn't a real thing. Then when they click on it, they're getting exactly what they clicked on it for. So that's why we always start the videos. We start those ones specifically like, what does the thumbnail look like? And then we start the video with that exact moment. And then we deliver more. So it's like they're getting what they came for, and they know that because they're getting it right away, and
yeah,
then you get right to the storyline, all that.
yeah.
But
What's been your favorite one so far?
oh man, honestly, bro, like
Y'all already know what's going on, man. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching sports. First part of our lineup is going to be Jimmy Butler, more than 6 assists tonight. Whether or not Steph Curry plays, Jimmy Butler is either going to have the ball in his hands a lot more if Steph Curry doesn't play, or if Steph Curry does play, Jimmy Butler will be looking to find Steph Curry off those down screens, off those cross screens. So more than 6 assists for Jimmy Butler. The next part of our lineup is going to be Contavious Caldwell Pope, more than 1.5 threes tonight. He's been able to reach this mark in all of his last 5 games, and Orlando will be taking on Charlotte tonight. All you have to do is click the link in the description, download Prize Picks, and use code BELLIS to receive $50 guaranteed once you place your $5 lineup. Use code BELLIS, and you will receive $50 guaranteed once you place your $5 lineup. Let's get to it.
each one has been different, but that professor one was so real. Like they had no idea he was right there in the front of the crowd. Now all of them, nobody had any. I think the concept getting better. I got some like crazy feedback. The Joe Johnson one did like 2 million in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that bill going stupid.
A lot of people loved it. Like 90, 95% of the people I got great feedback on, but there was like 5 to 10% that were like, why did you title it sneaking him in and then just like say like it was like sneaking to now we're gonna sneak Joe Johnson in the park, and then it was like 4 seconds later, hey everybody, this is Joe Johnson,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ah, that's a good point. Like, and I'm all for the for the critiques. Like, I want the concept to just get better and better and better. So I tried it with the Mario one, but then he airballed his first shot, and he was like,
He
"Fuck this,
could
I'm
he
taking
couldn't
off."
lift with the jacket. He couldn't shoot with the jacket,
Yeah,
bro.
but But yeah, the one in Paris was great because, like, man, that first play, Professor just did some Professor shit, and it was just crazy, and we were in France, and the Olympics were going on, like, just the whole setting of it was crazy,
Yeah,
the whole thing, but yeah,
brother.
for sure.
It was a point in the Chalmers one where Cam had a little segment. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like if I had a, and this is not me. This ain't glaze, but it's just fact. I mean, because he did win against my man's, but still, Cam might be my favorite YouTube whooper. No bullshit. Talk to me about just talk to me about Cam's like evolution real quick, gang.
Bro, it's just crazy because, like, we set out to do this game series, which was super spontaneous, like, one of my boys, Gabe, I've been super, locked in with him for years, like, we've sandbox friends, and, he's a really good filmmaker, cinematographer, and him and I were just talking about ideas for, like, a reality show. We're like, "Well, let's try and bring, like, a reality show to this YouTube basketball scene." And he just had a really good way of filming it, and, so we came up with the idea spontaneously, hopped in the RV that we had, and we set off to 3 random locations. We're like, "Let's just pick 3 that make sense for us to head
Mm,
back down to Florida." So we hit Charlotte, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, and then, Jacksonville, Florida, and it was just, like, on the way down to Florida. And Charlotte was the first stop, and the storyline just, like, I mean, we didn't write it
yeah,
as much as I wanna say we did,
organic.
but that story was written for Cam, like, that was it was meant to be. That was just a beautiful thing, like, watching it come to fruition, just crazy seeing it now and then being back at the park 3 years later, same park, and he's just going dumb.
Yeah,
That would've been a really cool moment for him for sure, but, we can take a lot of credit for, like, putting Cam on and, like, doing this, doing that, but, like, I feel like a lot of people have been on the scene, and I just feel like Cam has always been one of those entertaining people, and it's like, you can't take credit for that because it's just
that's who
like
he
and,
is.
like, you put people out on the court, yes, you might have the platform and stuff, but, like, you didn't put him in the gym for 20 plus years,
Yeah,
so it's cool how they come together, but obviously,
yeah,
like, it has to be a mutual respect for it to continue to grow, but it's just so dope. So dope.
brother. I want to transition to your matchup that just dropped today,
Yeah.
brother. You did not go to the huddle at halftime. I was so happy. But I was
Yeah.
so
I don't
happy you didn't go to the halftime huddle. You was like, nah, 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 nah. I'm about to figure this shit out. What was going through your head?
oh, yeah, yeah. Bro, it's just like that early run bothered me, and I nothing to take away from Vonnie, like, I'm not trying to take away from Vonnie, I was just like when I watched it, I was like, "Man," I think the run came from a lack of, like, energy. Obviously, it was his skill that did that. It's everything that he did to prepare for the game,
Yeah,
whatever. It's everything he's done in the gym to acquire the skills necessary to make that kinda run. I know that.
yeah,
But I just feel like I had a little, like, lack of energy, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But I don't know, after halftime, 29-6 run, definitely figured something out, and, I just knew, I was like, "Man, I know I'm gonna win this game, but why the fuck do I have to come back?" 15-2, man, it was just that's the same halftime score it was with
facts,
Nas. I was sitting there like,
facts, bro,
this shit
facts.
happened,
I
man."
knew, and that's I knew that probably wasn't going through your head at the time, but you not
Yeah.
going to the huddle let me know. I was like, I bet I don't. He was like, I don't need no help. I'm gonna figure this shit out on my own on the fly real quick. Whatever happens,
Yeah.
happens. To be honest, but bro, Vonnie had a solid skill set, man.
Yeah, for
Vonnie
sure.
was
I've
solid.
actually known about Bonnie for a little bit. Um, not like I don't really know him well, but I know like he came to our we did this like Ohio Royale video in the Cavs arena last year and a half ago, and he was playing on the team Cincinnati, and then he was
Mm.
part of the game season 3,
Oh, okay.
and he didn't win the one-on-one, but he played in a one-on-one at the park at the end, and he looked really good, but, kind of like just for the storyline and the algorithm, kinda skip through that, and then it was like because there's 4 people that competed, there were 2 games, and then the winners of those 2 games played each other,
Yeah.
and then that was Jaden from Cincinnati, I believe, and then he ended up coming through, but so, it was cool to see him get another shot, and I know that his game was uh, elevated completely in those 2 years because he was MVP in the league out there, and that league has like they have like NBA players that come through and play, and definitely a tough league. I think like a lot of the guys that when we go out to the cities, I'm not saying they don't ever play ones, but I feel like the games to 30, like get used to that. The twos and threes, you get used to different tactics and ways to go about the game. Um, I just feel like because he still had 21, he still played a great game. I just feel like the second half, like he died down a little bit, you
Yeah.
know.
Why?
Um,
Why you feel like fatigue, or was it due to you figuring out something offensively or
I
defensively?
I think it's both. I think it's a little bit of both for
Yeah.
sure. You could tell he was tired. He mentioned that he was tired, but then again, I also feel like I would like to say that there were things that I was thinking of like throughout the game. I started to realize like the way he was playing me defensively, I was like, man, I could literally just stand here and shoot threes the whole game, which I'm fine. But it's like those are like mental game threes, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I also was like, I can get to the cup. I know people were saying stuff about his defense. It's actually crazy. I think we both kind of played like kind of poor defense the whole game. But yeah, I don't know. I think a little bit of both for sure.
Brother, I do want to ask you this because we talked about this a little bit. My only request, please, for the rest of 2025, hand on shoulder.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brother, like, what do you think you need to improve on for the rest of 2025 when it comes to one on ones?
I think defense, bro.
Yeah.
I think defense, like genuinely, because offensively, I would say like my pace. Like I think I need to change my pace because like I play at one speed so often because I'm just trying to get my fucking shot off in one or two dribbles, honestly.
Yeah.
If I can't get right past you, I'm really just trying to get like my shot off. Because if I can get my shot off, I'm cool with a hand in my face, whatever, like that's cool.
Yeah.
But I think like there were a couple plays I noticed like I just took one slow dribble out and then hezzy and I can get
Blow
right to the
by.
now
Yeah.
and then that opens up the rest of my game so much
Yeah.
more. And I think I already know this. It's just when you're in the moment, it's a completely different game. It just is what it is. People can say what they want, but like that's what like the separates like the people that are like super locked in, like those pro guys that are just in the gym every single day that I use to that rep after rep after rep, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so excited about this Beasley and Lance Stevenson game, which I'm sure we'll get to, but um yeah, I think defensively is like just the biggest thing for sure. Because as the skill level goes up, you're gonna have to play better defense, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, but the thing is with the countering, I've seen you counter. I've seen you.
Yeah,
I've seen you change pace. I've seen you do
it's
these
just
things in
remembering,
season
bro.
10.
It's just remembering, that's it. It's literally just it's sometimes you just
Go back to
sense and
what you
maybe it's
nah, I think it's more of you go back to what you're more comfortable doing at that moment. You know what I'm
true.
saying? So whatever your game is most comfortable at, its most comfortable state, that's what you go back to. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Yeah,
I've definitely
I
seen you do it.
mean I mean, like, there's no line about how 1v1s are so mental, like,
Yeah.
I think they're more mental than they are anything,
Yeah,
and,
yeah, they are.
after coming off a game, like, how the game went with Nas, I go into this game, like, I'm like, "Dude, I can't fucking lose this game," you know?
Yeah.
So when I go down 15-2, I'm thinking, like, "I gotta keep this super simple, very technical. I'm not trying to." Maybe I gone up 15-2 at half, I probably would've been out there milli rocking and, you know, trying to do a
Shout out
bunch of bullshit,
Mills.
but it's like, I gotta get to the cup, get layups,
Yeah.
or take these 3s and just try and simplify the game, but, you know, um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I want
We'll
to
see.
one last question about the game. Then I want to transition to chapter 2, season 2. Where does this win sit for you mentally?
I'm just happy to get the win.
Yeah.
It's really nothing crazy, and it's nothing like I said, it's nothing at Vonnie at all. Like, I should win that game,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
I It's good. It's just good for me to get a win real quick
Yeah.
before chapter 2, season 2.
Yeah.
It's good for what's going on with my channel and everything right now. I'm trying to grow all that.
Yeah.
It's good to like go W on next chapter
Yeah.
and move on and wait for my next game, you know?
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's like all I'm thinking of. It's it.
Brody, we got a matchup, like a legendary matchup that I never expect to even be slightly a part of or even see. What was your initial thoughts of Lance Stephenson versus Michael Beasley?
Oh, bro, we've been working on this for so long. Like, we've been working on this for so long, and it just feels like a breakthrough moment. It feels so good. And I'm not necessarily saying like the Lance Bees matchup. We've been talking to Beasley for so long because of this myth, like this myth idea that he's just the greatest 1v1 player ever. And it's like everybody wants to see it. We've seen clips, we've seen King of the Courts, we've seen him play ones and stuff like, but this is like real. This
Yeah.
is somebody. Listen, this is what I'll say. There are Mike, there are not many people in this entire world on this planet that belong on the same court as Michael Beasley in a 1v1 setting. And if there is anybody if there's a handful of people, we found somebody. And that's Lance Stevenson. Somebody that grew up in the street ball world, grew up playing ones, has that dog mentality. He's like willing to check up with anybody. You should hear him on the phone when we're like, you know, talking about everything that we need to do and like talking about the concepts and all that stuff. Like, bro, they're ready to go. This is very real. Very, very, very real. So it's just really cool because in the same token, there's probably not many people that belong on the court with Lance Stevenson.
Facts.
If there is, we found the guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this 1v1 so questionable. And I'm sure a lot of people, based off of what NBA players have said about Beasley, based off of Michael Beasley's performances, I'm sure a lot of people are like, that aren't in the league or don't know basketball for real or just have heard stuff. They're probably rooting like Michael Beasley's going to kill Lance. But um, we're talking about two guys that made it to the pinnacle of basketball. Like they were on the same team at one point. They may have ran the ones against each other there.
LA
You never
Lakers.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's maybe some underlying stuff that we might even don't know about. I'm not sure, but I think I think we are in for a fucking show.
Yeah.
We're show.
Bro,
And outside of the 1v1, I think this season's gonna
I
be
was about to
insane.
ask you that. I was about to, bro,
I
how,
think the
how do
season
you think their personality clash? Like, we seen Rio and Bees get into it in season 10, and Rio chill. How is Lance and Bees, their personality clash going to be in chapter 2, season 2, bro?
um I don't know. But I think that's what makes it
Bro.
so exciting because the only way to find out is to wait and watch. Like you can think whatever you're gonna think. Because what if somebody comes in and they're just cordial and they're just like, I just want my team to win. I don't want somebody to see my energy at all until the day we check up. You never know. And that might be interesting too. But I just feel like we're locked in the gym for these 4 days. These two high energy, basketball loving, NBA playing legends are going to be coaching against each other. And although they're not on the court competing against each other, they still are going to want to win like they are. And you are going to see it, you're going to feel it, you're going to hear it. It is going to be monumental in YouTube basketball history. This is going to be one of the most entertaining basketball series ever. I'm not, and this isn't just YouTube. This is the realm of basketball. This is the biggest 1v1 news in basketball history. Like
Literally.
it
Without
has to
question.
be. If there's anything else, everybody please let me know. But like this is a pay-per-view. I know we were talking about the season, but I'm just like everything building up to the game, like the season to the game. Like this is pretty massive, bro.
Bro, the thing is, right, we had two NBA players in season 10, but they wasn't playing each other.
Mhm.
Like, these two guys are going to have their own team, but they're playing each other at the end of it. So the
Yeah.
trash talk is about to be so crazy, so different.
Yeah.
You might need security.
Yeah. I'm actually interested to see what they do in like their press conferences against each other and like their face-offs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be like any push and shoving, like any extra shit, but like you can tell when people win face-offs. You know, you can tell when people win press conferences and like that shit matters
It
for real.
does. It does, bro. The thing is, too,
We always talk about body language, right?
bro. Always, always talk
Yeah.
about it, bro. And the thing is, Lance being from that New York cloth, I just don't see him pulling up to the season and being like, "Oh yeah, everything all good." I just want my team to win. And seeing Bees in season 10, I don't see him being like, "Oh no, man, I got Lance." You know what I'm saying? I'm just locked in on that game. It's not happening.
It's not. It
And,
just isn't. I mean,
and then with the roster that's gonna be there and the amount of energy that they're going to have, it's no way it's not gonna bounce off the coaches or vice versa.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's gonna be.
it's gonna be crazy. What's
There's
your
two houses.
mentality? What's your mentality walking into the season? What's your mentality?
My only thing is I just hope me and Eli are not on the same team. That's it. They better put me and Eli against each other. That's all I'm saying. It's the only person I'm looking forward to playing against.
Wait a second. Hold on.
And if we don't line it up now, we can line it up in New Jersey.
All right, so that's a bomb. I don't know if you realize that. That's a bomb. I really do like that's damn near a Woj bomb. So Eli Carter is on Devontae Friga's radar. Can you just give the audience like a brief why? Competition?
Yeah, there's no beef. There's
Oh
nothing
no,
like
I know it
that.
ain't no beef. I know it ain't no beef.
Nothing like that. It's just like we've been having some conversations lately and like, Kyrie talking about next chapter and everything on stream and all that stuff. It's just like every time we're just in the conversations, the topic comes up. And it's like, bro, let's just settle this, man. Like, why are we talking about it? Can we just play? You know?
Oh my gosh. To be honest with you, I see you on B's team. I could see you on B's team. But the thing is, I can see B's picking up Eli. So I don't know how this is
Yeah,
about to go.
for sure. For sure. I couldn't see bees picking me up. I
Really?
just don't see him picking me up. Yeah, I mean, I know what happened. He knows what happened last time. He didn't pick me up, took out half his team. But
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. You was on 10 in season 10. You was going. I'm being dead ass. We gotta can Friga tell any other matchups for TNC 2? Got a super chat.
let's see what I can do.
Then I got a super chat from Adrian I gotta read. Make sure I read my dog super chat. I'm gonna read off while you're looking. TNC 02 wish list. Friga versus Nesco, Scar versus Vern rematch, Ty Glover versus Scotty Lewis, Fami versus Uncle Scoob, Cam versus Trey rematch, Meat versus anyone below 5'8". Grayson versus
So matchups I don't necessarily know, but let's see if I can just drop like just a name or something.
Drop a name. Drop a
Like
name. This is about to be special, though, ladies and gentlemen. All of you guys know what's going on. I do want to ask you one question, too. And I have to ask this because I literally just reacted to it, and you literally just educated in the comment section under the video. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, you
oh
do.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, act like you know.
I know what you're talking about.
Talk to me about Club 520, man. To be honest with you, Free, I'm gonna tell you.
Well,
I just don't think they were educated about the situation at all.
no, that's all it is.
Yeah,
There's no beef. There's
yeah.
nothing like that. I
No,
don't want anybody to
no.
start that narrative at all. I just think what they said, I was like, all right, I gotta say something to protect this because Scotty and I were talking about it. We're like, there's a massive audience that they have that has no idea what we're doing.
Yeah,
And like you
facts.
gotta be humble and realize, like, dude, just because you're in the basketball world doesn't fucking mean everybody's watching what the hell's going on, you
Facts.
know? I just feel like Teague is so like he's got this huge voice in the basketball world. And gotta respect that. And all I'm trying to do is just like make sure that people understand like there's more to this. Because when they were talking about how we just kind of threw it out there and there's
Mm-hmm.
no like
Yeah.
sparring back and forth. They weren't talking at all. For us, with everything that's going on in this 1v1 space and just like everything happening, a bunch of NBA players talking about doing a tournament, we're like, well, we're working on this. Let's release it. And then we're also filming this next week. So we'll have a bunch of material coming out soon. But I think everything's like strategic announcing. Then like they see the games happening. Oh, and now they see more. You know that 20 episodes is 20 plus episodes are coming. Reality episodes are coming out. Um, I mean, I think everybody will just be stunned. That's all it is. It's
Nah,
just
for
more
sure.
so protecting like the narrative really because the people that watch his stuff that don't know what we're doing are going to trust his word that man, they are just throwing this out there. Like there's no back and forth. They're not going to talk. They're just going to play a random game. Well, no, that's not the case, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, what I told Scotty is like, "Dude, we should just let's just like, it's our fault, like, we should just take the blame for everything, because like, now we know going forward, maybe there's more that we release, more information that we release, like, instead of just putting a flyer out next time, well, maybe now we know to put a flyer and then a carousel that's like, "And you're getting this as well." And I just feel like
Yeah.
there's no like, "Oh, they're doing it wrong, they're promoting us wrong." Like, no, we love the fact that they're talking about it. That's awesome. Maybe we need to do better next time, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so like I said, no beef, nothing like that. It was just I was in the comment section trying to clarify and, like you said, educate people on what's going on and that there's way more promotion that's about to happen in literally 6 days from now. Everybody's flying down, uh, and it's about to get wicked, bro.
Bro, it's about to get. Bro, they got some
So
fellas. Everybody in the chat, they got some hungry hoopers pulling up, bro.
yeah,
Some guys that are hungry to
yeah.
solidify themselves within the scene. But also too, bro, I think some of Teague's comments is basically off his competition that he wants with Brandon Jennings.
Yeah,
Like he just wants smoke with BJ. Even when he said I don't care about, even when he said like I don't care, he was more concerned about we gonna talk about B Jennings.
yeah.
Like I haven't seen Teague in that type of demeanor since I watched him play in Atlanta. Like he wants smoke. like
It's cool.
so.
I would love
Go ahead.
to have the conversation. Like I do think that we're like a non-biased platform that makes sense for them to do it because obviously with all of their platforms that they have, it makes sense that they use their name and their money to try and
No
do
cap.
something that. But I feel like the respect for the actual game and all of that, like it can be had over here. I think that once they see a successful event through this Bees and
Yeah.
Lance one, like people will start to turn their heads and understand like we're doing good business, and two, we're trying to make something like I always say the UFC of 1v1 basketball. And yeah, I mean, I think it could be held over here. Like obviously there's
Oh,
going to
it
be a bunch
definitely
of people
can.
back
It
and
definitely can.
forth, a lot of companies that are going to see the back and forth and know that it's like a money maker and whatever. Like dude, if they want to make a bunch of money from it, they can make all the money they want. We just believe that with the culture, like this is the right place to do it. um but obviously I'm biased, so
Yeah, bro.
i
I
just
think I
i
think what's happening now, and I said this when I was reacting to the video. I think TNC is at the point to where it's knocking on the door of mainstream media. So a lot of people are not gonna. They're just not gonna know, and that's okay, because you're about to know. Like you're about to know what's going on with this matchup, and once it happens and it's done the right way, a lot of people are gonna know, bro. A lot of
Yeah,
people are gonna
because
know.
the other thing was, like, the money thing, like, people are like, "Why do you keep bringing up money? Why do you keep making it about money?" And it's like, well, money was their argument, money was what Teague brought up. He brought up the 100K, like, coulda got more out of it. That's just what's on the line, you know? Like, we respect these guys. We asked what they wanted, We asked what their number is. It wasn't like, "Hey, here's the offer." You know what I mean? Like, we're like, we want to put this event on. We have the team, we have the structure. Here's an entire layout of everything we want to do to promote it. We did our due diligence to show them the exact plan and what we can do to not only get them paid, but put them on this stage that makes sense for them to play this game. And they trust us. And I believe that they deserve to I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, they deserve to get paid what they wanna get paid here. They
Yep.
deserve to play for big bag. They deserve a percentage of the sales, and that's what we wanna do, you know? So, I don't know, I mean, whoever wins this game, you never know, bro. They could literally walk out with over $500,000. Like, it's very possible, and that's, like that's ridiculous. I mean, I think you reacted to it, maybe, or Cell reacted to it and brought up
What
the
the
average
520 podcast?
salary per game, and it was like
Oh yeah, I
87
did.
to
I did.
five
Yeah.
97K a game.
Hmm.
Like, obviously, they're getting 82 games in a year. They're definitely gonna make more money in the grand scheme of things. So to the person that's like, "Bro, how are you comparing you guys to the NBA?" Well, we're not necessarily comparing ourselves to what the NBA is. We're just comparing the payday for one game. We're not saying like, "Hey, let's set up 82 pay-per-view games in a year." We don't wanna do that. We want it to be like if you're winning and you get those 2 or 3 pay-per-views a year and you get a really good payday for it, you can focus on just leveling up your game,
Yeah.
and it's not as strenuous. It's not You're not gonna strain your body out as much. You're not signing a contract for 82 plus games, like that one game where you're making that 100K in the NBA, or like the one game where you're making a couple 100K over here playing one 30-minute game. Maybe it's 30 minutes, on top of the fact that this is brand versus brand. So it's not just, hey, come perform on the next chapter. You're going to play for this. We'll pay you this. It's like, we're going to pay you a guarantee. We're going to put 100K on the line. We're not going to ask you to go all out all fucking year. It's just like, we don't strain your body. You're getting a percentage of the sales. And then we'll use our platform with our production team to push your brand for 20 plus episodes and the reality show. So it's not just Michael Beasley versus Lance Stephenson. It's both of what they have going on, you know what I mean? Like, let me see if I can pull this up here.
That was a sick
Um,
breakdown. That's a sick breakdown, dog. Oh my gosh. Read
um,
a couple super chats. First of all, they said, "Is the sale Instagram post about Friga? Is it true?"
oh, bro, I fucking love Marcellus, bro, but he was hating on me on video, bro. What the fuck? Like, I hope when he does his reaction, he just zooms in and slows down. Like, damn, he was calling fouls on me.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Damn,
One
then,
sell,
like,
sell gonna
I
call
went
it how
up
you see it.
I know, I love it, and I'm not even mad about it, bro. Like, I'm with that. I'd rather it be like that than like some fake, phony, blah blah. Like, definitely call it how you see it. It's only gonna make everybody better in the grand scheme of things, and your relationships too. I went up for the left-handed layup and I missed it. On the commentary, he's talking about, I never seen him make a left-handed layup before. I'm like, bro,
Oh yeah, I
that's
didn't hear
ass.
that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at
But
all. Somebody said, "Let me read
I
these super
mean,
chats real quick." The ABC crew needs to set up a live broadcast with 520 to promote and educate. I'd do that in a heartbeat. Shout out Jeff Teague and 520. Size class 5'2" to 5'5", 5'6" to 5'9", 5'10" to 6'1", 6'2" to 6'5", 6'6" to 6'9". And then they got weight 150 to 170, 175 to 195. That's a lot, man. You thought about that one. I low key like it though, but you thought about that one, homie. No cap. What you was about to say though, freak?
no, I just wanted to add one point to what I was talking about before. Like, you get the 100K on the line, you get the guarantee that you want, you get the percentage of the sales, and then also it's not just Michael Beasley versus Lance Stephenson. It's Born Ready. It's Team Born Ready, which is Lance's brand, his apparel. It's what he's growing versus Team We Them Ones, and it's like it's not just we're not taking all the shine from everybody and using these guys' fucking names and everything they built. It's like, let's collaboratively work on this and let's show off what you're doing. Like, getting 100, like wearing everything that you want to wear to promote your apparel, getting 100% of your own sales because that's your shit. And let's just like really, you know, really combine the the minds and the creative work here and do something major. I don't think people understand like there's so much more behind this where it's like collaborative project. It's not just next chapter putting on this, you know,
But
this thing.
let me say this. I think it's a great thing that a lot of people don't know what's about to happen because it's going to be their first impression. And that first impression is a Lance Stephenson versus Michael Beasley.
Yeah.
Like that is something that's going to be like a stamp. You feel what I'm saying? For a lot of people that the casual fan is like, hold on, what the hell is this? You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's a good thing I think it's a good thing 520 don't know what's going on. I think it's a good thing a lot of these other NBA players don't know what's going on. They just see the matchup. So as they're following the 20, 25 episode season to the final product, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I need to lock in with, you feel what I'm saying? So I think it's a good thing. So somebody said Cell's in the chat. Cell's not in the chat. What's Cell at? I don't see Cell in the chat. Anyway, but yeah, bro, I think the first impression for this is about to be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's about to be crazy.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. That's definitely a good point. I'm excited to see the feedback, good and bad, and growing it even more. Like,
I'm excited to see Friga in Chapter 2, Season 2. Because you might be playing and your ass go try to play in everything. Yeah, put me in here. Put me here. Let me get every 1v1. I know you, bro.
oh man,
You can't
we'll
play
see
every
what happens.
one-on-one this season, freak.
Why were they mad about that? It wasn't even my doing. That was Chalmers. Like, they were mad at me for playing. They're like, "Oh, we're tired of seeing this the fourth 1v1 all season." But it's like, bro, talk to my coach. It wasn't me.
You are a liar. You wanted to play those games.
I did. It was like I stepped up. I wanted to
Yeah.
play, but I wasn't the only one.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. He said, tell
Or
Friga to
whatever.
slide to the backyard pronto. That's what Cell said. Oh,
Which one?
he said his.
Okay.
Nah, he won't smoke for real though, Friga. You think you could be?
No, I could tell.
You think you could be Cell?
Bro, I think I could beat Cell. I think Cell could beat me. I think let's just line it up and see. It's a
Ooh,
ball.
bars in the chat. Oh my God, freak, my brother. Any last words for the people? We chopped up for 40 minutes already.
Yes.
Anything you want to say to the people?
Yes, I often use this analogy a lot. I say it in meetings all the time. I say it, I've said it online before, and I'm going to say it again. The next chapter will be the UFC of 1v1 basketball. For the longest time, boxing was the only thing around in combat sports. They had the press conferences, they had the live streams, they had this mano-y-mano, right? They had the narrative control, the storylines, whatever. And the UFC came around. Mind you, the UFC is only a 20-year-old company and they're a multi-billion-dollar industry. They came around, they popularized it in this social media boom era. And now they're getting people paid more than they've ever been paid before. And I'm not saying boxing is ever going to go away. Boxing is very exciting. I love the sport of boxing. I just am so much more of a fan of the UFC, the mixed martial arts, the innovation of this combat mano-y-mano that's been around since the Coliseum days and then some. And it's what human nature is just attracted to so much. You want to see the formula's already there. We're working on it. We are continually turning heads. We will be the UFC 1v1 basketball. This will be a multi-billion-dollar industry paying people more for one game than people could ever fathom. And also, Michael Beasley, Lance Stephenson, June 6th, 100K, live on pay-per-view, tncleague.com. Come on now.
Ah! Hold on, don't leave yet. I got a text. Don't leave yet. I got a text. Somebody wants to pull up, and he's here now. All right.
Oh, Scotty.